Heroes of Warcraft.
Greetings all, this is the TKForce, the team-killing force of nature itself. And I am back, opening more Goblins vs. Gnomes packs. We knew this day would come, people. This is the last of the Goblins vs. Gnomes of pack buying video 40. And I'm looking forward to it, to knowing exactly how many packs, what cards I have to work with when I'm making decks and whatnot. But also, I'm going to miss busting these packs open. Let's buy them. But it was a good ride. We saw, I believe, just about, all the cards we were likely to see. And we saw quite a few legendaries. We were never going to see all the legendaries from busting open 160 packs. But we saw quite a few. We saw a lot of golden cards. We saw a lot of epics. We had a lot of fun along the way. Will this video be as interesting as the last one? I hope so. Last one was awesome. So many gold cards. Go back and check that out. It was frickin' crazy. It was like I couldn't open 5 packs without nerdgasming over something. Oh, here's something. I don't think I noticed. I read this right. Of when I first opened one of these little exorcists. The battle cry of the +1/+1 is only for each enemy minion with Death Rattle. So your own Death Rattle minions do not help this card out. So it's not for a Death Rattle deck, it's for to protect against them, which I find makes it a much weaker card. Now, I understand why they didn't want to give this a power, make this another powerhouse to Death Rattle decks, which have become all too common and whatnot. But slipping this card into your deck to protect against one type of deck, I just not sure it's all that viable. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Something else I looked up. Dr. Boom. And figured out what his boom bots do. So, if you'd like to join me after the pack openings, I will go to Dr. Boom in the collection. You guys will remember probably he was opened in, I think, the first pack opening video. Oh! I don't know, dude. Oh, I think we got one of these once. So now we've got 2. One-Eyed Cheat. Whenever you summon a pirate, it gains stealth. So that's an interesting rogue deck thing, You play this guy out when you can play him with another pirate, so he's stealthed. He unleashes his 4 damage to play out another pirate. He stealths again. Yeah, I think we got one of those before, so he's interesting. Anyway, if you want to join me after the pack opening, I'll go to my collection. We'll take a look at Dr. Boom, and I'll tell you what I learned about his boom bots. Oh, golden little exorcist. Okay, I take back all the bad things I said about you, little exorcist. Now that you're gold, you're awesome. And it is actually a card that, depending on the metagame, if it's very heavily just saturated with Death Rattle decks, yeah, you'll probably want to slip it into every deck that you have at that point in time. Just keep very aware that it's one that you should slide back out of your decks if Death Rattles stop becoming a focus. Although I guess Death Rattle, you'll always get to give it some bonus because Harvest Golems will never not be a thing. I love Harvest Golems. So my first card that I got unwrapped 2 golds of were Harvest Golems. And they fit in just about every one of my decks. Soot Spewer. Okay, we got an epic. Recombobulator. I don't think that we had this guy before. So, new thing here, guys. All classes. He's your standard 2-drop of 2 mana, 3/2, but he has a battle cry. Transform a friendly minion into a random minion with the same cost. I could see some ways that could be useful. Like, if you've got all the use out of a minion that you think you can do, maybe it was a Sunwalker. Maybe its Divine Shield is gone. It's down to 2 health out of 5. And it's going to die the next round. So you turn it into something that costs the same amount of mana and breathe some new life into it. Maybe somehow, I don't know if this is possible, but what if it became a fresh Sunwalker with its Divine Shield back intact? Back to full health and everything. You know, so it's a very interesting card there. The Recombobulator guy. If you get him early, you could drop him as just a normal 2-drop. If you get him late, maybe he can fix up your minions. I was thinking another thing you could do with this Scarlet Purifier guy. Deals 2 damage to all minions with Death Rattle. If you've got Nerubian eggs in your deck and you drop them and you drop this guy next and he bursts the eggs and you're left with a couple of 4/4s. So cool. He can combo like that. Of course, that makes them dangerous if they've got eggs sitting out there, but, you know, there's always danger with having cards like that they'll combo accidentally off of your opponent's cards rather than your own. Alrighty. You see, we're still having some stuff, some of the cards to talk about here, even running into some new stuff. But it's less and less as we go on. So I think that this is the perfect one to wrap up on. And yes, I do notice here, people, a golden explosive sheep. Now that's just a very dangerous card for decks like zoos, various types of rush decks, you know, that could shut them down really hard. So it's not a bad card, not a bad 2-drop. And golden sheep. Who doesn't love golden sheep? That's where you get the golden fleece from. Jason and the Argonauts, they looked for that fleece all over. Speaking of gold, we got a gold Shrinkmeister now. Energy coming off the ray gun looks pretty darn cool. Very nice. Oh! Callback Guardian. Paladin card. Whenever you summon a mech, it gains Divine Shield. I'd not even heard about this card. That's kind of cool. If it can survive for you to play a mech, you might want to play it with a mech, which means you're not going to be able to drop it on turn 5 unless you've got a training dummy. Very interesting. Interesting card. I'm surprised we are still seeing new stuff. Like I said, less and less. Starting to wind down a bit. So I'm glad this is the last pack opening video. That, and I'm looking forward to knowing exactly what cards I have to work with as I start to experiment with new decks. That'll be fun. Anything new there? No. I was surprised that I got that rare just there that I didn't have before. I was fairly certain that maybe I'd got all the rares from the new set. Pretty sure we've got all the new commons. But I guess maybe not all the new rares. Definitely not all the new epics either. And, oh, speaking of epics, and they shall appear. Shield Maiden. Someone played that while I was grinding out my quests earlier. It's somewhat effective, you know. If they get out a nice, sizable creature and bring their health up by a good chunk. I don't think it's as good as... maybe it's as good as Guardian. I don't know. Very iffy on this. I have a bias against creatures that give health. Or health-like stat. In that I don't find that that's a very useful thing for them to do. But, you know, in the right deck, maybe. Oh, we got Dark Whispers again. Summon 5 Wisps. Or give a minion +5/+5 taunt. Interesting. I mean, 6 mana feels a little overcost, but when you get to pick between 2 effects, they do have to overcost it a little bit. Otherwise, it's just a much better card than something that would do one or the other. Alright. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, it's a good place for the series to end. Ooh, a legendary. I was hoping we'd see at least another one of them. Oh, wow, this is when people are complaining is really overpowered, actually. And I'm glad for something else that came in the pack with him. See, he's a 6/6 for 7, which is already, it's okay stats. It's okay. It's okay, people, it's okay. It's okay. But whenever your opponent casts a spell, it's the Trogzor, the Earthinator, summons a Burly Rockjaw Trog. Burly Rockjaw Trog? We happen to have one right here. He summons this friendly little fellow whenever a spell is cast, which, whenever your opponent casts a spell, gains +2 attack, and it's a 3/5. Becomes a 5/5, you know, when a spell is cast, and then a 7/5, and so on, you know? So this guy, he doesn't beef up when a spell is cast. He actually summons in these guys that get beefed up. So that is pretty freaking sweet, the fact that you get a 4-drop whenever a spell is cast when he's round. They got to get rid of him quick, and preferably without a spell. I mean, the fact that they are likely going to have to cast at least one spell to get rid of him, or they're going to have to pour their board into him to get rid of him, that kind of makes him do something right away. I think it makes him very playable. So, yeah, that's good legendary right there. Woohoo! Jazz, we got him. And kind of jazz that he came right alongside what he summons, so that you guys could see it so easily. Alrighty. We're not even halfway through yet, people. Will there be any more surprises? Only time will tell. Love some more golds game. You know how much I love golds. Some people don't like gold cards at all and will not use them. I get that some people have a problem with some reason they make their computers run real slow. I don't exactly understand the people that just outright hate the look of them. They've done a really good job, I think, with the animations on the golden cards. I guess to each their own, though. Goblin Sapper. We had one of these? +4 attack while your opponent has 6 or more cards in hand? I don't know if we have or not. So if you play him against a handlock or something along the likes, he'd be a 6/4 for 3 if they've got 6 or more cards in hand. You could also maybe play him in a deck that feeds the opponent cards, like maybe tries to fill their hand with spare parts or stuff like that. Interesting. Do not know if we had him before. I don't think he's a great card, though. It's, again, too situational. The same reason I don't like the new giant that costs less depending how many cards are in the opponent's hand. You don't know what you're going to be facing. You don't know you're going to face somebody who has a lot of cards in their hand. So you don't know if you'll ever get to play that thing. Could be a dead card. No, another Goblin Sapper. At least the Goblin Sapper's not a dead card, though. You just might never get to fully take advantage of him. And if you don't fully take advantage of him, I'm not convinced his stats are really all that worthwhile. But maybe. Okay. Nothing much there. Ooh, we got an epic. Along with a couple of rares. Oh! Fell Cannon. I noticed something while I was looking at the cards. Is that 2 damage to non-mech minion the end of turn? It sounds like that could probably... It doesn't say enemy minions, so that would be like your minions too. So that better be a Warlock mech deck. Otherwise, the Fell Cannon might just start blasting your minions. So keep that in mind. Cogmaster Wrench. +2 attack while you have a mech. Interesting. So if you have this out, and then you play that Goblin Auto Barber thing, it would get +2 from the Auto Barber, and +2 from the fact that the Auto Barber is a mech, so you'd suddenly have a 5/3 weapon in hand. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. You want to use that combo, go ahead. Just, remember, if you win a tournament or something, don't forget to mention TKForce. Tipped you off onto that little combo. You don't have to do that. I'm just kidding. Oh, there's the Auto Barber in question. Oh, it's just a +1. It's just +1. That would only make it a 4/3 weapon. No big deal whatsoever. Actually, no, 4/3 weapon. That'd be pretty cool. It's still a good combo, people. There's that Metal Tooth Leaper. I have not seen any other hunter cards that would go with a mech hunter. Like, do they want you to base your whole mech hunteriness around this one Metal Tooth Leaper? Not sure that's very viable. Maybe I am forgetting some mech hunter cards that would help with some mech synergies. Ooh. If I want to build a Trog deck, at least I've got the Trog Legendary, and I think I've got now some gold. At least I've got this gold Trog. I think I had some other. I think I had one other gold Trog. I can't remember what it was. But if I want to build a Trog deck, be very anti-mage. Not sure how popular mage is at the moment. What's our epic? Oh, we did not have this, people. Tree of Life. Restore all characters to full health. So minions and heroes. Well, there is that card I was talking about that might lead to a very, very late game druid. You know, the one I was saying might get actual use out of that legendary beast thing that they have that gets shuffled back into the deck when its death rattle goes off. So, yeah, maybe they're trying to bring out a new very, very late game druid. That is a card that would help you get there. Interesting. Ooh. Golden Mech Bear Cat. Yeah, that's the one that whenever it's damaged, you get a spare part. I don't see anything wrong with this card. It looks like a pretty cool card. It seems fair stat-wise, and the possibility of you getting a few spare parts off of it, that's not bad either. Spare parts, you can make good use of those. I was fighting a person just the other day who I had to kill one of their things that gives them a spare part when it dies, and I was like, I hope they don't get the +1 attack, because I have to leave this minion out. And if they get the +1 attack, they got the +1 attack. And it was just what they needed to take out my taunt with a very good deal. Basically, they got to trade way up. But my choices were limited. So anyway, those spare parts, they can really help if you get them at the right time. or if you hoard them to the right time. Okay. So that's a good gold. The Man Bear Pig card. Muster for Battle. I think that's a pretty good Paladin card. The Muster for Battle one. I think it's pretty darn decent. I think a lot of Paladins will run it. And our epic. Ooh! Somebody clap. I'm happy. Destroy a random enemy minion, combo, and your opponent's weapon. We haven't had this before. It's interesting. It'll probably become fairly popular if of a weapon strong metagame ever emerges. Like back when shamans were everywhere and using Doomhammer to great effect at just reaming off your health when they would use it along with a rockbiter weapon. Or I remember back when you knew all the warrior decks were toting around a gore howl. So, you know, if weapons ever become big in the metagame again, you'll probably see sabotage floating around, because that's some good tempo there, potentially, to kill off one of their creatures and to also get rid of their weapon. Go away, Cobra Shot. Seriously, I don't care how many of you I get. I will never, ever use that card. Never! I swear, Cobra Shot. Stop showing up in these packs. You can show up, Mech Bearcat. You're not that bad. I don't really need any more of you, but you know, it's the thought that counts. Cobra Shot, it is not the thought that counts. I have no interest in you being here. Even the golden copy of you, I'm not too tickled pink about. Call Pat. You know, I've been thinking. Call Pat's a little better than I was thinking, right? It draws a card. Draw a card for 2 mana is not the worst thing in the world to cycle a card for 2 mana. And if it happens to be a beast, big windfall. I think this is good. This is better than I was thinking, even. You know? And there we got our anime golem again. We've talked about that a lot. I like anime as well as the next person, but not that into anime golem. Okay, we're officially down to our last few packs. Then we'll go take a little look at Dr. Boom, and we will be done with the pack opening videos. But I've enjoyed myself. Sincerely have. We've seen some cool cards. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing them too. I enjoy watching people open packs. I don't know. Well, I don't know. There's some thrill out of it, you know. It gives you the adrenaline of ooh, what's gonna be in the pack, but without you having to worry about actually spending any of your resources on it, you know? Yeah, looks like there's not going to be anything extremely interesting in the last few here. Love to see something else cool, but we have seen quite a bit. Nothing we haven't seen before. There's an epic. Might be interesting. Go over the Medievish. Still like that card. It's a bit of a win more card, but I think it's useful. Okay. Last two packs. Oh, there's our second Coolbat Guardian. Cobalt, whatever. And the last pack, as per usual, nothing special whatsoever. Okay, we saw some cool stuff. Now let's go take a little look at Dr. Boom. Boom. There we go. Dr. Boom. 7/7 for 7. That's fine. Decent enough. Battle Cry. Summon 2 1/1 Boom Bots. Boom Bots are, like it says, 1/1 creatures that when they die, they have a death rattle of do 1 to 4 damage to a random enemy. That's pretty darn good value. That's, you know, it's pretty good, darn good value. You'll do an extra damage if you get to run them in. Your opponent will be mildly hesitant as to taking them out due to the fact that they know that 1 to 4 damage is going to come from each one of them. But then again, they don't want you running them in and choosing what gets the extra point of damage. So, and also there's the fact that if they get left there, they're mechs, so you can use mech synergies with them. Very good card, Dr. Boom. I could see him being in mech synergy decks or just about any kind of deck. He's just a big guy who's got a decent battle cry, you know? Little smaller than Ragnaros, but he'll attack what you tell him to if he does stick around long enough to actually attack. And if he doesn't, at least he brought his boom bots. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll be back with something else Hearthstone related again, I'm sure. I still love this game. But until then, may the Force be with you. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for watching. Seriously, all the views, likes, comments, and subscriptions, I'm amazed by the support and so grateful. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, may the Force be with you.